Hey guys, this is Death by Big Numbers. Today, we have our third part of our series on differential gears, and we're going to be talking about differential gearboxes. Now, what I have in front of me right here, you might recognize from my previous video. It's one of my 1 to 2-way rotation converters. And the reason I have it with me here today is because it actually shares a lot of similarities with the differential gearbox. Here's one right here. They both have one input and two outputs, like most differential devices. And the interesting thing is that they both have ways in which one output turns when the other doesn't. But this one only essentially has two inputs and two outputs. The inputs being back and forth, and the outputs being back and forth. Whereas a differential gearbox has 4 outputs and 4 inputs. Rather, you can turn like this. You can turn this forwards with this in this position. You can turn it backwards with this in this position, and vice versa, with this being in this position, 4 inputs. And then as for the outputs, each one of these can turn in both directions. Now, that's just explaining the differences between them. I've got another model here, which is slightly larger, but might be easier to understand. So, here we have our differential gear and our bevel gear. It's very similar to our original differential drive model. But then we have these weird gears here and this large rubber wheel. Let's start off with the rubber wheel. Or rather, let's start off with the differential principle that powers this. It's actually the same one as the 1 to 2-way rotation converter. That is, even if there's just a tiny bit of resistance, the one who is encountering that resistance will stop turning, and the other output will start turning at double the speed. That's how this works. This rubber piece here is giving resistance to this output. It's hard to turn. Whereas this one has no resistance unless you slide this piece over here, which engages these two gears. And since this gear can't spin, it gives more resistance than this, which allows this to spin. So essentially, if this is not engaged with this large gear, when it spins, this output spins. Simple. When you slide it over, this output spins. It's a bit harder to turn, but still quite easy. And the nice thing about this over 1 to 2 rotation converter is that it can spin both directions, making it very useful in FLL. Once again, I have this one over here, which is much more compact and doesn't use one of these gray pieces, but it uses exactly the same principle. Now, 1 to 2-way rotation converters are very useful in FLL, and so is this. Now, you might not want to use 2 motors to have 2 outputs, but if, say, you can slam against a wall, have a button coming out of here, when you hit the wall, it flicks this and allows you to do a mission. Heck, you could even have 2 1 to 2-way rotation converters on here and have 4 outputs, which is pretty crazy. These are differential gearboxes. This is Death by Big Numbers. Thank you for watching.